The desert sun was just beginning to rise again on the land of Karbala. The dry wind brushed over the dusty plains. The small camp of Imam Hussein made up of his family and loyal companions, stood still in the early morning silence. They had arrived a day earlier, surrounded by a vast army sent by Yazid ibn Muawiyah, led at first by her ibn Yazid. Despite being encircled, they had been allowed to set up camp. But now, on the 2nd of Muharram, the chains began to tighten. Imam Hussein stood facing the barren land. His eyes, calm but heavy, swept across the horizon. He called out to his companions, "This is the place of our destiny. Here we will be martyred, and here our grave shall lie." They began pitching their tents. The women, children, and even the brave warriors helped secure what little shelter they could. The water source, the Euphrates River, could still be seen at a distance, but already Yazid's army had begun positioning themselves between the camp and the river. Imam Hussein chose to place the tents close to the enemy's side, not to provoke, but to reduce harm to the women and children when the inevitable battle began. Trenches were outlined around parts of the camp, to be filled with wood and used later for protection. That same day, another significant figure arrived, Umar ibn Sa'ad, son of the famous companion Sa'd ibn Abi Waqqas. He came with a larger army, possibly 4,000 soldiers strong. His mission from Ibn Ziyad, the governor of Kufa, was clear: force Imam Hussein to pledge allegiance to Yazid, or kill him. Imam Hussein, seeing the massive increase in troops, did not show fear. He sent messages again: "I have not come here to fight. You have sent me letters inviting me to Kufa. Let me return to Medina if you no longer wish for me." Umar ibn Sa'ad was hesitant. He didn't want to fight the grandson of the Prophet. But political pressure and his personal ambitions, especially the governorship of Ray, modern-day Tehran, clouded his conscience. Despite the growing tension, Imam Hussein continued sending offers of peace and negotiation. He said, "Give me one of three choices. 1. Let me return to Medina. Allow me to go to a borderland and live in peace. Or take me to Yazid personally." But Umar ibn Sa'ad and the other generals had been ordered not to negotiate. Still, no swords had clashed yet. The battlefield was still silent, but the tension was loud. The soldiers in Yazid's army watched Hussein from a distance. Some of them felt their hearts ache, for they were witnessing the grandson of the Prophet, a man known for his worship, generosity, and truth. Back inside the tents, Lady Zainabess helped care for the children. Mothers whispered stories of bravery to their sons. Water was still available, but only in limited amounts. Every breath felt like it carried a warning from fate. That night, Imam Hussein sat under the stars with his companions. They recited verses of the Quran, offered tahajjud, and shared moments of remembrance and prayer. Some of the men, like Habib ibn Mazahir, Zuhair ibn Cain, and others, spoke in quiet voices, reflecting on what was to come. They were ready, not for victory in the worldly sense, but for an eternal victory in standing by truth. Tariq al-Tabari Vol. 5 describes the arrival at Karbala and movements of Yazid's troops. Maktal al-Hussein by Abu Miknaf describes the negotiations and peaceful offers. Luhuf by Sayyid ibn Taus details how Imam Hussein responded to threats. Bi'atana Bol 44 contains emotional descriptions of the early days in Karbala. This day represents a choice between right and wrong, between comfort and conscience. Umar ibn Sa'ad chose power and lost his soul. Hussein chose truth, even if it led to death. The stage of Karbala was being set, not just for a battle, but for a lesson that would echo through centuries. Every day is Ashura. Every land is Karbala.